So, back with another YouTube video. Today is Saturday. Today is my leg day, so I'll be showing you a leg day video. Just finished up my check-ins for today. Saturday's a little bit of a quieter day for me. I chose for it to be that way because when I first started coaching, all my check-ins were on like a Saturday, and that day was so busy. And then when I started becoming busier, I started then to move check-in days on other days, and then I started to then bring down my personal training. And then over time, obviously, I completely stopped personal training, went fully online like a year and a half ago now. And I just made sure that I kind of moved my Saturday people around to in the week a little bit. So then it feels like I get a bit of a Saturday, because it was at one point where like I was all day just on my laptop on a Saturday. So then I didn't really have a weekend as such. So at least now I've kind of got that bit of balance where I still have a bit of a Saturday. So I finish a bit earlier, can go train a bit earlier, and yeah, get all that done as well. So it's about 11:30 now, just about head to the gym. And my shoes did arrive. If anyone watched my last video, you'll see I wanted the new kind of shoes for leg day, and I'll show you them now. They were, to be fair, they feel good. I feel like I potentially should have got a size 9. I got a size 10, and I think I should have got a size 9. So what I've done is I ordered another pair, so now I can test both out and then just send back the pair that I don't want. So I think it should be still fine size 10, but I think a size 9 might be better. They don't do 0.5s annoyingly, so I couldn't get like a 9.5, which I think would be bang on. But let me show what they look like. They're a bit of a funny looking one. Oh, my fingers anyway. Look at them. They look terrible. But you can see how I mean, they're completely flat base there. So like I said, it's going to give you that extra bit of grip. It's going to connect to the floor nicely, connect to the machine nicely without having like a heel raise, where most shoes have like a bit of a heel raise here. So then what that does is that will naturally then push you up on towards your toes, which is obviously we're not looking to do when we are wanting to keep a nice flat base, because otherwise it can put a little bit more pressure onto the knee, and it can cause a little bit of instability in the foot, which is where most people end up getting knee pain. So that's why they're so good, to be able to kind of keep the weight evenly distributed throughout the foot to stop things like that. So, but yeah, I've got them because they're quite nice and grippy as well. So I will let you know after the session how they are. But yeah, on the way to the gym now, leg day, gonna be a good one. Let's get it.
So starting off my leg session with a standing calf raise. I always start my leg sessions with calves. Some variation, whether that be seated, standing, calf press on the leg press or anything like that, I always start with them. This is purely because I remember when years ago, I used to absolutely hate my calves. I'm like, oh, they don't grow, blah, blah. And all it was because I would add them at the end of a session when I'm already knackered, and I would just do like a couple sets, and I wasn't really actually stimulating them properly. So when I started then doing them at the start of my leg sessions, and I hit legs twice a week, so I was hitting them real hard twice a week, it made an absolute like huge difference to my calf development. So a few little tricks of what I do is make sure you keep your feet dead straight. Don't allow your ankles to come together. And also, as you see, as I drive up, I get full range at the bottom. But as I drive up, I get a squeeze, and then I squeeze again. So I get like a double squeeze to get even more contraction out of that calf. So really, really important that you're getting the full range of motion. And then I hit some partials here just to kind of rinse them off a little bit more, as that was my last set. Second exercise is a lying leg curl. Again, with this one, few little things is try not let your bum come up in the air. So what you want to do is keep your hips locked down into that bench. Keep your core solid. Try not to let there be an arch in your back as you drive up, or your bum to shift up in the air. You also want to make sure that your knee is locked into that pad and it doesn't slide up the pad when you get, especially as you fatigue. We don't want to swing the weight up. We want to contract the hamstring. So try to imagine like a bicep curl. That's what we're trying to do here. We want to bicep curl, but curl up through the hamstring, contract as hard as we can, and then real smooth, constant tension on the way down. And we also want to make sure our feet stay nice and straight. So again, we don't want toes pointing out and all over the place. We want to keep the feet nice and straight, knees straight, hamstring completely locked in, hips down, core tight, and then, like I said, take that set to complete failure, as you can see here. I'm getting them last little bit. And then my next exercise is going to be a leg extension. So with the leg extension, I think you can see it there in the video. I've actually put a seatbelt on me. So I bought one on Amazon. They're only about, I think it was like 13 quid or something. But this is an absolute game changer for like seated leg extension or like a seated hamstring curl, because it allows you to really keep your hips locked into the bench, and therefore your bum doesn't lift up out of the bench and we lose tension on our quads. Also, because it locks you in, you're able to get more stability as well. So you're able to then really generate more power, therefore getting much more kind of quad work. So another thing as well is making sure you're keeping your knee, hip and toe all in line. Too many people, as they come down, their knees roll out, their knees are wide, their toes are pointing out, or they're all over the shop. So make sure you keep your toe in line, toe pointing up to the ceiling, and then squeeze in that top range, using your hands to really pull yourself down at the same time as well. Again, this is just going to get a little bit more stability so you can generate more power, and then you want to be taking that set to failure. So you can see here, I'm in a lot of pain right now, but I'm just pushing through that burn, because my legs have got the power there. It's just your mind that can give out a lot of times on these exercises when the burn is that much. And if you're not flying yourself out of the leg extension as quick as possible, you're not doing it properly. So moving on to the hack squat, really, really smooth on the way down. Control the weight, don't let it control you. A big thing I used to do in a hack squat, so I would rush the way down and bounce the weight up. And then my knees would be killing me for 2 days later. So real smooth on the way down, full range, and then powering up. I'm not bouncing out. I'm not kind of suddenly changing my pace in the rep and just kind of starting off slow and then all of a sudden kind of diving into it. I'm keeping it smooth throughout and making sure I'm feeling my quads working and then driving up. This is only going to be so much better for your knee joint and knee health, but it's also going to get much better stimulus in your quads as well. So as you can see, like I said, each rep, I'm slowly bending my knees. I then breathe in, brace, full range, breathe out, driving up. And this was a good set actually. I was quite happy with this set. I got a few really nice reps in the last couple. Yeah, and I go again. Go on, Sam, go again. But yeah, I think that's about 3.5 plates aside there, which I have done, I think 4.5, 5 plates on this before. But again, crap reps, so it doesn't matter. Yes, you can say, oh yeah, I could do 5 plates on this. If they're not proper reps like this, you're not doing 5 plates. You're just kind of fooling yourself. So yeah, smooth, and I make sure that last rep is just as good as the first. I don't suddenly pick up speed because I'm getting in pain. Moving on to the Cybex leg press. This is really, really good because as I come down, the platform moves. So it kind of moves with the ankle joint. So it's quite nice. So you can get nice range and keep your feet nice and flat on the platform throughout. And I can get that calf right down to my hamstring. I'm really using the handles to pull myself down into that seat to again generate more power and more stability. Therefore, I'll be able to then load up the leg press more and put more weight onto my quads. This was a weird leg press though, because as you get to the bottom, it's a little bit lighter, but as you get to the top, it definitely gets heavier in that last quarter of the rep. So you'll see here, as I get to the last rep, I probably should have needed a spot for this one, but I reckon I can get this still. So I went for it. And I didn't get it. But I know with this, I know how low the machine goes, so I know I can get out safely. Luckily, I'm only like 5'8", 5'9", so I haven't got the longest of legs, so I can just move myself out like that. But if you've got long legs, don't do that, because that would be silly. But yeah, as you can see there, that was a bit of a fail. Moving on to a single leg standing leg curl. So with this one, I find that I have to lean forward a little bit. If I stand completely upright, as I get down to the bottom of the rep, I lose tension on my hamstring because the weight drops off. So if I lean forward into it, it just means that I can create tension on it all time. So again, I'm doing a single leg here because I like to always have some form of single leg movement in every workout, so I can really isolate and think about just one side at a time. Whereas a lot of times, obviously, if you're doing both legs, you don't get that same connection. As you can see there, I'm taking the set all the way through. Still got quite a bit of detail and vascularity still in my legs, which is quite cool to see, because a lot of times, you don't see that part of your body when you are, in day to day. So when you start to see a video back and you see kind of, oh, okay, I'm actually still holding some good detail in there, quite low body fat in my legs, which is, it's good to see. But as you can see there, I'm leaning over the pad. I'm driving my knee into it. And this is a really, really nice single leg curl as well. There's a few that I've used which are absolutely terrible. There's one in JD gyms. They always have the same kind of brand. So I'm sure if anyone watching this goes to a JD gym, you'll probably know what I'm on about. There's a single leg curl they've got there, and it is horrible. It's so heavy in the top range, but then so light in the bottom range. It's just a pointless bit of kit. Sometimes I do think, who makes these equipment sometimes? Like, who's actually testing this and putting this in through like production and signing off saying, yeah, that's all good. Like, because some people, they must have no idea what they're on about. I don't know how they got as a job. So now looking at just some post-workout visuals. My legs are pretty pumped here, so there's not much detail there. That's when you know it's a sign of a good leg session, when there's not that much detail. It's just full of blood and kind of look a bit swollen looking. That's always a good sign of a good workout. So, but yeah, happy with the hamstring drop. Really starting to thicken up in that side leg now, which is nice to see. But that definitely was an area I think a lot of people lack on, and I think I lacked a little bit, which is definitely improved. So yeah, very, very happy with that. Very happy with the visuals. Like I said, still keeping nice and lean 10 weeks post-show. And successful leg session. And so that is leg day done. Good session actually. Really good session. So I think the shoes did make a bit of a difference. They were probably a little bit too big though. So I think a size 9 would be perfect. So if you're going to send these 10s back, get a size 9, which I've ordered anyway. And they should be bang on then. So yeah, good session. Just on my post-workout, which was some chicken, rice, stir-fried veg. And I've got 2 rice cakes with that. I'm probably going to do a video next on like a full day of eating, just to show you kind of what I'm doing at the moment and just give some tips and tricks on there on how to grow while staying lean, but also how to then make sure you keep your appetite in a good spot. Because at the moment, calories are like 4,100, which is fine, but when it starts to go up, it gets tough. I think a lot of people think, oh, eating all that food every day is great fun, that's great. Trust me, it's not. When you have to do it every day, it gets tough. You need to make sure you get up at the same time, go to bed at the same time, eat your meals at the same time, keep your steps up for digestion. You can't get lazy with steps. Otherwise, if you're not digesting that food, it's going to sit heavy on you. And then your next meal comes around and you're like, I can't eat that. I'm too full up, So, and then force feeding, which obviously isn't fun. So yeah, just making sure you keep that structure going, which in the past I've been lazy with. But this last year, I've been really on it when it comes to like every morning, I get up, hydrate, vitamins, go out for a walk. I do 5,000 to 6,000 steps every single morning. I've not missed a day in probably like a good year. Even if I've been on a holiday, I still get them done, Honestly, it's a game changer. Sets your digestion up nicely, it wakes you up, gets you alert, makes you more productive, just energizes you nicely for your day, really. Recommend that to anyone. Start your day off with a morning walk. Even if it's 20 minutes, it makes a difference, trust me. I show you little tips and tricks of that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Probably like a full day of eating, or potentially I might go through my push session, which will be on Tuesday. So yeah, stay tuned and see you in the next one.